What is the Godhead? The term Godhead is found 3 times in the King James Version: Acts chapter 17 verse 29, Romans chapter 1 verse 20, and Colossians chapter 2 verse 9. In each of the 3 verses, a slightly different Greek word is used, but the definition of each is the same: deity or divine nature. The word Godhead is used to refer to God's essential nature. We'll take a look at each of these passages and what they mean. In Acts chapter 17, Paul is speaking on Mars Hill to the philosophers of Athens. As he argues against idolatry, Paul says, "Forasmuch then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone, graven by art and man's device." Here, the word Godhead is the translation of the Greek theon, a word used by the Greeks to denote God in general, with no reference to a particular deity. Paul, speaking to Greeks, used the term in reference to the only true God. In Romans chapter 1, Paul begins to make the case that all humanity stands guilty before God. In verse 20, he says, "The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." Here, Godhead is theotes. Paul's argument is that all creation virtually shouts the existence of God. We can clearly see God's eternal power as well as his Godhead in what he has made. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. The natural world makes manifest the divine nature of God. Colossians chapter 2 verse 9 is one of the clearest statements of the deity of Christ anywhere in the Bible. In him, Christ, dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. The word for Godhead here is theotes. According to this verse, Jesus Christ is God incarnate. He embodies all the fullness of God. Translated the deity in the New International Version. This truth aligns perfectly with Colossians chapter 1 verse 19. God was pleased to have all the fullness dwell in him, Christ. Because the Godhead dwells bodily in Christ, Jesus could rightly claim that he and the Father are one. Because the fullness of God's divine essence is present in the Son of God, Jesus could say to Philip, "Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." In summary, the Godhead is the essence of the divine being. The Godhead is the one and only deity. Jesus, the incarnate Godhead, entered our world and showed us exactly who God is. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known.